There you go.
All right, everybody, we're ready for our next session. And Mr. Pete Folch, it's all yours. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you run with it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that. Oh, once again, good morning. Welcome. Well, and if I haven't had a chance to greet or meet you or shake your hand, my name is Pete Folch. Not into real long introductions, but I will tell you the two greatest titles I have is I am the husband of a beautiful gal named Lisa and the proud daddy of Isaac and Tessa. And my son and daughter, I have a leadership training and development company called Second Wind, Finish Strong. And before I started my training and development company, I have 30 plus years in restaurants and hospitality. So as we have our discussions today, you're going to hear a few restaurant terms. The first one I'm going to share with you is, today I'm your server. You are my guest. It is my role for the next 50 minutes or so to help elevate your skills as leaders, as servant leaders. We're going to be going through a session called A Passion for Service, Leading and Executing on Your Moments of Truth. This is a portion of a much larger workshop that I teach called A Passion for Service, Engaging and Connecting Everyone with Your Mission. So we're going to go through one of the most talked about sections of that workshop here with the Leading and Executing on Your Moments of Truth here. So as we go through our time here today, we're going to employ lots of different learning methodologies here. There'll be a little bit of lecture. There's going to be some group work. There's going to be some visualization, some role play here. But we want to keep this interactive because we don't just learn from me. We learn from each other. We learn from you here. So to get things started here, I want you all to imagine with me that you are a restaurant manager. Okay, everybody's been to a restaurant, correct? Okay, Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, everybody's been out there. So you are the leader of a very busy restaurant operation. And so you just come through a very busy lunch experience. And what typically happens in the restaurant is about 1:15, 1:30, and so you're giving direction to your team. So you've got some servers that are out there cleaning the tables and getting them reset. You've got some other servers restocking the side stations. You've got some folks sweeping or what we call hoking the floor in the restaurant business. We've got folks also cleaning the front door glass. We've got folks that are checking the restrooms in the kitchen. I've got some folks restocking the line. I've got some prep work being done for getting ready for the dinner volume. I've got the garbage being taken out. I've got floors being swept and out. I've got the dishes being done. So it's about 1:45, and you've got folks that are clocking out. They complete their duties and their side work. But you need one person to do a once around the parking lot. Okay, and you've got this one person to go around and pick up the debris and litter. You've got this one utility person by the name of Joe. And Joe is the best you have at picking up the parking lot and grounds. When you send Joe out there, he will not miss a cigarette butt. He will not miss any candy wrapper stuck in the landscaping. When Joe comes in from being outside in the park, you know it's clean out there. So you send Joe out there. Scenario A. Joe is out there and he is getting all the cigarette butts, he's getting all the debris and litter, and he's coming around the front door. And he sees a young woman stumbling her way through the front door. She's carrying a child in one arm. She's carrying several of these large to-go order bags in the other hand. She's got another child with her, and she's kind of stumbling her way through. And Joe sees that, but he remains laser focused on getting all the debris and litter. So she works her way out to her car. She's fumbling her way to find the keys of the car. Is trying to manage the kids. She gets the car doors open. She puts her kids in the car seat. Okay, then comes back to the to-go order that she had to put on the ground. She puts that in the back seat. She gets in the front seat, starts up the car, backs out the car, and continues on her way. Upon seeing that, Joe sees that, hey, I can get to a couple more cigarette butts. Okay, so that's scenario A. Let's rewind. Scenario B. You send Joe out to do the parking lot, to pick up the parking lot and grounds. He's out there finding it all, getting it all, front door. He sees a young woman coming through the front door. She's got a child in one arm, and she's got a large, holding multiple bags in the other. She's trying to manage a child. Joe immediately puts down his broom and dustpan and goes over and gets the door for her. Ma'am, let me get that door for you. Oh, thank you. That is so kind of you. Ma'am, do you need some help with carrying the to-go out to your car? Oh, that would be wonderful. So Joe grabs the to-go order from her and paces with her. And also with her free hand, she can grab the hand of the other child that's with her. He paces with her out to her car. as she's trying to find her car keys, Joe is very conscientious about the kids standing strategically between two cars to make sure the kids do not go out in the parking lot. She opens the car door. She's getting the kids in the car seat. While she's doing that, he puts the to-go order in the back seat, making sure everything is stable and secure for the ride home. As he completes that, with a smile, he says, "Thanks for coming in today. I hope you enjoy your meal. And we hope to see you again soon. You have a great day." Her response, "Thank you so much. I appreciate all your extra kindness today. And yes, we will be back." So Joe goes back over to the broom and dustpan where he placed it, and he's resuming his duties. She backs out of the parking spot, and he makes eye contact. So as he's with the kids and with the mom, and gives them one more wave goodbye. So let me ask you, team, which scenario would you rather have as a leader of that restaurant? So what I want you to do is very quickly turn to a partner, turn to somebody next to you, and talk about, would you rather have scenario A or scenario B, and why would you have either scenario A? So if you haven't become acquainted with your partner, introduce yourself. We can have teams of 3.
It's somewhat obvious, but it is funny. I think there are a lot of men they say they want to scenario.
I've been in that scenario before.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to hear from a few of you. Which scenario would you rather have, scenario A or scenario B? B. B, okay, why B? Why would you rather have scenario B as a restaurant leader? Say that again, Chris? Customer focused. Okay, great. Thank you, Chris.
Very human.
Very human. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Customers
Mimi
are
and
more
Pierre.
important than cigarette butts.
I'm sorry, Robert?
Customers are more important than cigarette butts.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. Yes, okay. All righty. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay, back here. Karen, and then we'll do Carla. Okay. Okay, got some buy-in there. Okay, and then we'll go Carla and then Jeanette. Carla?
Serve the customer.
Serve the customer. Thank you. Yes, yes. Jeanette?
I think he's an ambassador for the mission statement.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay. You're going to say something similar there, Carolyn?
He understands the purpose of the company.
Yes, you're right there. In scenario A, we had an employee, we had a team member, we had a staff member. If you're a nonprofit leader, maybe a volunteer, okay? We had a person, an employee, simply focused on function. This is the job I do. This is the assignment I've been given. This is my task. Function only. In scenario B, we had a team member, an employee, a staff member, a volunteer, focused on our purpose, our mission. So let's say the mission of that restaurant group is to provide an exceptional customer service experience every day. Yes, Joe was asked to go out and clean the parking lot, pick up the debris and litter, but he was dialed into the bigger purpose. Okay, he had a purpose here. Why is this a big deal, folks? Because employees lose their passion, they lose their energy, they lose their motivation when they lose their sense of purpose. Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? Does what I do count? Does what I do have any value? So, and by the way, for note-taking, you feel free to use the booklet, or I have a handout that looks like this. That should be next to your place setting here. So passion is fueled when your team is clear on their purpose. Clear on their purpose, which leads to thriving together. Some years ago, I was reading in the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. A lot of great series books in that Chicken Soup for the Soul series, so a lot of great short inspirational stories. I was reading a story of 2 men working in a rock quarry. And you've read that story, yes. And so, Yeah, so, a gentleman from the local newspaper decided he's going to go out to the rock quarry and interview these guys. So he comes up, and they're working with the rocks out there, goes up to the first one and says, hey, tell me, what is it that you do? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm moving a bunch of rocks around here. Okay, that was the first response. The second response, what is it that you do? I'm helping to build the next cathedral. Same job, function, purpose. Okay? We want to have our team as servant leaders working as with a sense of purpose, clear on the mission, clear on what are we all about, our mission. So in the workshop, in the Passion for Service workshop, we kind of take it step by step here. And the first thing we talk about here, there's not time built in to go into deep dive on mission statements here. But okay, we've got to start with the mission. What is our mission? Okay, the mission statement is a one-sentence description of who we are. It's the purpose of your organization. Okay, so in this example, I have our company is committed to providing quality products and unsurpassed customer service. One sentence that describes who we are and what we're all about. I've got to have a mission. And sometimes when I do this workshop, I'll have somebody, I deal with companies of all types and sizes, and some relatively new, some been around for a while, but I have somebody, Pete, we need to rethink our mission. Is it still today clear? And so I'll ask you, is your mission of your organization clear, and is it still relevant? Do we need to do some tweaking? And I know in this room you have varying degrees of leadership and influence on maybe changing the mission of your organization, but nonetheless, we have to ask ourselves, is it clear, is it relevant out there? Here are just a few examples from some folks I've worked with here. If I get somebody to read the top one there. Volunteer to read the top one there. Okay, Jeanette, top one.
We are about providing a clean, fresh, and exciting environment.
Yes, that is the mission statement of a janitorial company here in Central Florida called Clean Slate Janitorial Services. So, great company. I've been working with the owner and the CEO and I'm going to share some testimony as what he shared with me in just a little bit as we have our time together. Can I have somebody read the middle one? I saw another. Pierre, please. Okay, yes, that I was working with a leader of a giant worldwide organization called EA Sports. Those are the folks that put together the video games, Madden, NFL 19 or 2000, whatever. So they have all those games. If I can have somebody read the bottom mission statement, please. Okay, thank you, Alex.
All right, we provide our clients with the latest in hair design, care, and maintenance along with choice.
Okay, and that is a salon in Waterford Lakes called Salon Libby. Again, these are great mission statements. They're one sentence. Here's one more for the nonprofit. This is a mission statement of a nonprofit organization I've worked with here. I'll get somebody to read a little bit longer one here. Who wants to read that one? Okay, Mimi, thank you.
To build good citizenship by providing a volunteer organization of clubs dedicated to serving individual and community needs with an emphasis on helping people with developmental disabilities.
Okay, thank you, Mimi. That is the mission statement of a nonprofit organization called Civitan International out of Birmingham, Alabama. They have clubs and organizations in 40 countries around the world, so we did a video for them. So once again, these are mission statements. This is all-encompassing. This states who we are and what we're all about. Again, we're not going to take time to diagnose mission statements like we do in the workshop here to make sure we're clear, but we want to make sure we have a clear mission statement. Once we've done that, we're going to spend the bulk of our time here in this class on something called moments of truth. Moments of truth. What are we talking about with moments of truth? Moments of truth are any time your organization, your team, has contact with the customer, contact with the guest, contact with somebody who you could potentially be serving, in no matter how large or how small the contact is. And it forms an impression. And what it also does, it serves to validate your mission or potentially invalidate the mission. Okay, it could be direct contact, it could be a moment of truth with the customer or with the product you've provided them, it could be a moment of truth on the internet as they're looking at your organization, it could be a moment of truth as they're looking at your physical building here. I worked for Olive Garden for many, many years, Darden Restaurants for 21 and a half years. Several years ago, we decided to take a look. What are the moments of truth out there? When a guest comes to our restaurant, when a guest calls us on the phone, when a guest decides to use the internet to place an online order. What are all the moments of truth here? Your second handout there you have, and I know the print is a little small here, but it lists about 140 different moments of truth. At the top of it says Pete's Casual Dining Restaurant at the very top there. We're not going to go through all these, but I'm going to read a few of these here because this is going to set up our next exercise here. So, I'll read off the number here. So, starting at the very top, number 1, the signage and appearance of your as you approach the restaurant. I haven't even gotten to the restaurant yet. The signage is a moment of truth. Number 12, a warm greeting at the lobby stand. That forms an impression. That's a moment of truth. Number 15, accurate wait quote provided if the restaurant is full and you have to wait. Number 20, atmosphere of the bar. If somebody goes into the bar for a beverage as they're waiting, what does the atmosphere there look like? Number 23, host conversation as they're walking to the table. We don't want a host walking 5 steps ahead of the guest. We want there to be a conversation there. Passing out of menus, number 25. We're not passing out a deck of cards here. We want the host to unfold those menus. Number 30, the cleanliness of the booth and the table. That's a moment of truth. Number 35, the dining room light levels and light fixtures working. Number 38, the dress and appearance of that server at the table. Number 40, the server answers questions accurately and guides the guest. Number 45, there's an acknowledgement of other folks in the front of the house or in the dining room. That's a forms an impression there. Number 47, drinks are brought to the table in a timely manner. Number 52, a busser is next to your table, clearing that table with a pleasant personality and doing it quietly. Number 63, the entrees come out as appropriate, with appropriate timing and accuracy. Number 65, additional items are offered. Steak sauce, ground pepper, those are moments of truth there. Number 67, if a correction is needed to the entree, how is it handled? That forms an impression. Number 73, more dishes are cleared as appropriate. So we're doing some pre-bussing there. Number 76, there's a comfortable, relaxed reference to the desserts as it gets to be that stage of the meal to offer desserts. 79, there's a smooth handling of food that needs to be packed to go. Number 84, a guest asks where the restrooms are and they're treated with respect. 86, restrooms are properly stocked. Number 91, there's no hazards or litter on the floor. How many of you have formed an impression about a gas station by the way the restrooms look? Okay. Number 95, the checker is accurate with any coupons or discounts factored in. Number 99, the server stays aware and processes that payment timely. That's a moment of truth. 101, there's a warm invitation for the server, or by the server for the guest to return. Number 103, as the guests are walking through the lobby heading out the door, the host asks the customer, how was your meal? Number 105, there's also an invitation from the host team to come back. The next section is when they call us on the phone. Number 110, the live voice answering on the phone is a pleasant greeting. Number 114, wait time is being placed on hold is very minimal. Number 118, the ease of getting in that to-go parking. Number 125, additional team members jump in to help out a guest with a to-go order. And lastly, this is the online presence. Number 127, website easy to find. 130, pictures, colors, descriptions are attractive and engaging. 133, there's a ease of joining the Loyal Customer Club online. Number 134, the experience of filling out a survey. And I'll highlight 136, directions are provided on next steps after you place an online order. Folks, I just named 40 moments of truth out of 140 that are in front of you. The Ritz-Carlton is the gold standard when it comes to hotel hospitality. They know their moments of truth. The Walt Disney World, they know their moments of truth with the experience out there. I received some feedback from some organizations that have gone through this and said, Pete, when I took my employees through this, it was a game changer. It opened our eyes as to all the ways we touch the guests. So, what I'm going to ask you to do for a few minutes here is, and if you're with part of your team, if you could be kind of group with your team here, but I'm going to ask you for your organization that you're with, a nonprofit organization, no matter what your organization is, I'd like you to take some time where it says, what are my moments of truth in your handout? And I'd like you to identify what are some moments of truth for your organization with the guests that you serve or the guests that you could potentially serve. So again, for sake of time, I'm just going to give you a few minutes to do that on your own, and then I'll ask some of you to share what you came up with in terms of moments of truth for your organization. Okay? So I'm going to take some time. Here, I'll move a chair here. Are you with?
I'm with Carla.
Okay.
I was just telling him, I didn't say anything.
And if you come up with more than 20, use the back side of your page. Okay.
Property appearance.
Some of you work in clinics. What are the moments of truth with your clinic as you work with patients? Okay.
I have website, property appearance, greetings, signage, social media, and restrooms.
And if anybody is stuck, I'll be glad to jump in and help you out. Yeah. Be detailed out there.
The dependability of our technicians. We found that out last week.
Comfort, yeah.
Mostly politeness.
Okay, I'm going to give you about a 3-minute warning here. 3 minutes. And we'll talk about what you came up with.
Oh, like a meet and greet. Stand back and watch it.
And we were, when we started out with from the signage and all the way to, and I was making the.
Want people to come by. Yeah.
Okay, 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it starts even before the transaction.
I'm trying to stay. You're right on. Okay, 1 more minute. Love to do that.
Well, he says it's the. big complaint. They want to get connected to normal.
Okay, 30 seconds.
I know, I pulled some, that's why. Everything's set up for tables and chairs for lunch. So I pulled some.
So, thank you, yes. Teamwork. Okay. We won't be able to hear from everybody, but I heard some great conversations, great discussions on touch points, and as a church or as my organization, how do we touch the guests? How do we form impressions here? So if I could have a few of you just share from your list, say, your name, here's the industry I work in, or here's my company, and here are some of the touch points that we have, here are some of the moments of truth that we've identified for our organization. So I do have a volunteer to highlight what they put together. Okay, Lisa?
All right, well, I'm a vision therapist,
Mm-hmm.
so we're an optometrist.
Can't hear.
Yeah, I got to speak up.
All
She
right.
works at a vision clinic.
Yes,
Yep.
do I need to stand up? I'm so quiet.
Well, yeah.
All right, so I'm a vision therapist, and I work for 2 optometrists. So there's several moments of truth. Everything from when a new patient calls in, and how that phone call is addressed, that gets them in the office. So
Mhm.
that's really important.
Yep.
And then trying to find us, so clear directions how to get to us. The first greeting when they come in, the doctor appointment when they see the doctor. Then they meet with our patient coordinator who talks about the finances and all that. That's a big deal. So then by the time they get to me, all that has been covered. But I'll be working with that patient for usually 6 months. So that rapport is important, that communication, how, and then throughout the therapies, how things are handled. So lots
Yep.
and lots of
Great.
moments of truth.
Great examples there. So some moments of truth, how you touch those patients, how you touch the folks coming in,
Yeah.
or prospective patients.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Bill?
Yep. Name's Bill. So from my previous position in retail, I think that one of the things that I think of a lot, so there were a lot of the service components that you touched on in the restaurant business, but some of the maybe less front of mind things are the digital interactions you have. So a lot around any interactions you have with an app for your online order updates. If we're pushing updates out to you, then they have to be accurate. You have to know when that package is going to arrive or if there's a delay. And then reward status update is important to a lot of folks too. So every purchase you make, is the information we're pushing to you accurate on the status of your rewards, how much money you save, progress to the next award, things like that. So a lot of those digital interactions have to be more front of mind now than maybe in the past.
Excellent. Great examples. Thank you, Bill. Laura?
I work as a nurse practitioner, so I deal with customers, patients all day long. So I have identified a lot of moments of truth are like anywhere between the way I even dress, because I have to convey respect and be compassionate and be caring about them. And every little thing that I do definitely shows that, from the moment that how I approach them, whether I'm standing, I'm sitting, I'm looking straight at them at the eye, I'm listening. So, and I also have to be cognizant of the people that I work with as well, because not only is my attitude, but it's the attitude of my team that also reflects on what I do.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura. Excellent. How about one more? Those are great examples of moments of truth. Tim?
In the last session, they gave an example of a Southwest Twitter account, and sometimes the touch points are out of, in that case, it was something that was posted online, and that, a Southwest representative interacted with that, but there are touch points we may not know about, right? Somebody posts something on social media that we didn't even see, but it becomes a touch point to that
Yep.
person, so.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Tim. And we're going to talk about the different types of guests in a moment here. Mimi?
So we do a lot of, I work at Career Source and we help businesses find talent.
Mhm.
So a lot of things is following up with people after we've given them services. So how are we following up electronically? Are we asking the things we want, or are we really finding out what their successes are? How our phone manner is, how our electronic communication is.
Yes.
Got to build that relationship.
Absolutely. Those are great examples of touch points in your world there. So thank you. Those are all great examples. And like I said, years ago, as I was working with a culture building initiative at Olive Garden, we decided, hey, we've got to define what are moments of truth and then teach that. So it's not just I'm picking up trash, but why? Why does that make a difference when I put them, when I garnish the plate a certain way? Or at Disney when they teach the details of how you wave, and there's a reason why. So it's those kinds of things that dial me in, to dial your team into, this is important. What you do matters. How you process that email matters. How you answer the phone matters. All of that counts. And that's how you feel the passion here. Now, some of you mentioned different types of guest and customer interactions here. And again, for the sake of time, I'm just going to kind of review. You have this in your, on your sheet here, but there are external guests that you serve, external customers here. So what I call direct contact. These are folks you directly do business with, you have direct interaction with, you directly serve, you directly, at church, you directly shake their hand, they're part of your congregation. They're folks that you have direct interaction with. And these are folks that do your online and digital. Those are direct. You've got indirect folks, indirect contact. Those are folks that may not be doing business with you now, but maybe in the future they could be. These are folks that are maybe doing some online searches and they come across your organization. Or they are influenced by hearing an experience about working with your organization. They hear it from somebody else, indirect. You've got applicants out there, okay? You've got folks that potentially could be working for you someday. You're forming impressions with them. Do I want to work for you? Do I want to work for this organization? Or if you're a nonprofit, do I want to volunteer my time for that organization? You also have what I call community. And these are folks out in the community that are, in general, affected by your business practices. As you hire folks, the families of the folks that are impacted by the fact that that person is working for you and providing income, the economy, things you might be doing environmentally, how you're impacting that way, community. And lastly, what I call nonprofit. If your organization is directly involved with helping out a nonprofit, I know at Darden we did about once a quarter, our training team would go out and spend a Friday afternoon helping out at Habitat for Humanity or helping out at Give Kids the World. So we're forming impressions when we do those kinds of things, whether it's giving or giving of our time. Those are external guests out there. You also have internal guests, your employees, the people that report to you. Okay, so I have an internal guest that I'm serving. And so I'm forming impressions with how I'm leading and how my interactions and dialogue with them. Folks that don't necessarily report to me, but they're on my team. They're people in my organization, co-workers, like as I use up there, or they could be fellow volunteers in your nonprofit group. My boss's boss, say leaders above, we're forming impressions out there. Board of directors, the folks that are helping give guidance, strategic guidance to your organization. Again, they're an internal guest. Okay, I'm forming impressions with them. I have a role in impacting how they feel and about what we're doing, and the investor community. So if you're a for-profit, stockholders. If you're not for-profit, you're donors out there. I'm forming an impression with those folks. So there's lots of different types of guests that we are influencing. There are moments of truth out there, and how we serve is influencing how they are, how they feel about us, and whether they want to continue a dialogue or continue working with us. So I'm going to stop right here. Any questions up to this point on moments of truth? Okay, and identifying these moments of truth and really being detailed with how we impact the customer and how everyone impacts the customer. Any questions on that? Okay. There are times where I'll be doing the workshop and I can still the number crunchers, the financial folks out there says, Pete, I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's important that we get people working out of a sense of purpose, and their loyalty to us is going to be stronger, and their performance on the job is going to be stronger. But is there a financial or business component? Is there a business impact? Great question. Okay, so Jeremy referenced the Gallup research. Back in 2013, Gallup did a landmark study researching employee engagement. They researched companies in the U.S. workforce of all sizes out there, all industries, all positions. And they broke it down. What percentage are engaged, disengaged, and actively disengaged? So the numbers you're seeing up here are from the last research, January of 2018. Disengaged. Okay, these are the folks, it is just a job. This is the function I happen to do. From their research, 53% of the U.S. workforce, the average company out there, 53% are just doing just enough, as represented by the five people on a 10-person bicycle there. We got 5 people that are just doing enough to push those pedals, doing enough to just hang in there, okay? So that's disengaged. They're operating by function. Then they also categorized actively disengaged. These are the troublemakers, okay? These are the folks that are probably on multiple needs improvement plans out there, okay? They're actively, we know, I mean, so who are those folks, or what percentage? 13% from their research showed there were 13% in that category. So folks, 66%, 2/3 of the workforce are disengaged, again, according to their study here, which leaves 34% operating truly out of a sense of purpose. They're operating because they're dialed into the mission. And so as you can see the illustration there, they're the 3.4 out of the 10, they're driving. They're driving, they're trying to make things better. They're trying to make up for the rest of the folks that are just kind of hanging out or maybe putting the brakes on. That's what we look like. Or that's the, and maybe your organization is a little bit better than those percentages. Maybe not quite there. So that is what we're currently looking at. That this is the why. And so what's the implication for us as leaders? Okay, the implication is to ensure that our team is clear on their purpose. There are other factors that also factor into this, which again I teach in the Passion for Service workshop, but this is simply from Moments of Truth here. I want to make sure that everybody is clear on the mission and clear how they have a role in helping us in that mission. Because we need to see that 13% come down, we need to see the 53% come down, and we need to see the engaged go up. And what happens when that happens? Okay, Gallup in that research also defined engaged versus non-engaged companies. They defined an engaged company as folks that are better than 2/3 of the workforce is into what they're doing. They are dialed in the purpose. They're driving. Okay, when a company is disengaged versus non-engaged, engaged companies have 22% greater productivity. Engaged companies have 65% less turnover. Engaged companies have 41% less quality incidents with the product or service that they are providing. And when they compared engaged companies versus non-engaged companies in terms of peers in the business compared to other competitors, stock price, 141% better improvement for the engaged companies. That is why this is so important. And again, you're hearing a recurring theme here of engaging and serving. So part of my responsibility to my team as I serve my team is to make sure that they're set up for success. To make sure and there may be some folks that, as Jeremy talked about earlier, that are they on the right bus? Okay, are they doing the right thing? We need to deal with that. We need to get folks over to the purpose, operating by purpose. Okay. Questions on the numbers I just cited to you. The show me the money. Show me the business impact, Lisa.
Not in particular, but I'm wondering, in talking about the moments of truth that we had talked about, what if you blow it on one of those things? What if on one of those situations you don't have a great first impression? How do you fix it?
Great question. Great question. Okay, anybody have any thoughts on that? Because there are a lot of moments of truth out there. Okay.
I think if you're a servant leader, you admit it, first of all.
Yes.
You know what? We recognize that we failed here. It's on us.
Mm-hmm.
How can we come back around and fix it?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot.
Yep. Yep. I am sorry can be one of the most powerful phrases for a leader.
Just immediately shift the service over again.
Mm-hmm. And let's see how we can make it. Let's see how we can make this better. Okay. Okay. Darden Restaurants serves over a million guests a day between the 8 restaurants. So there's a lot of moments of truth happening out there. So we don't always get it right. And I say we, even though I've been away from them for 4.5 years now. But nonetheless, yeah. So I am sorry, and I'm going to do what I can to make it better. Okay. And let's learn from what happened as a team. Let's learn and make it right. Great question. So now, what might be some learning applications? Okay, how do we take what we just talked about with moments of truth and really put together some good, solid learning application that has some teeth here out there? I'm going to share some with you, and I'm going to give you a moment to write down what might you apply off this. First of all, I referred to this earlier. Here, get with your team. Organization-wide, or get together with your individual department. You may be running an IT or a payroll operation, and involve your team with identifying the moments of truth, just like we did here in this exercise. And again, I wish I would have had time to give you more time on that, because again, as you continue to work as a team together, and wow, yeah, we do touch the guests in many different ways. There's many different opportunities to make a great impression or not a great impression. So, and as I mentioned, my friend that has the janitorial service, when he did that with his, he said, it changed my company. I have a different company. He just said, this was one of the most value-creating things we did for our organization all year, going through and identifying what our moments of truth, because then it, as his team of janitors are taking care of, in a building, a particular, area with furniture, and just the way they put things back. That's a moment of truth. That makes that's I have impact there. Do a moments of truth exercise on the different types of guests. So here are the external guests. Here are the internal guests. Especially as a leader, I want to make sure my internal guests, I'm serving properly my internal guests here. So, so you can do that. Build the moments of truth into your training. Okay, instead of saying this is your procedure, 1, 2, 3. This is how you process an invoice. 1, 2, 3. Build in the why. Build in the connection to the mission. We are about delivering exceptional customer service. Okay, so when you give a fond farewell, that provides an impression. That's one of the final impressions the guest has of it, as you're giving a fond farewell to the guest. So build that into your training with your team. Take time to remind your team of the moments of truth. You're going to see that as we put together or have the little grand finale here. Get your team involved with generating ideas for elevating our moments of truth. Okay, involve them in how we can execute at a better level. Praise your team members. We've been talking about that. Show that appreciation. You know what? I just listened in on your phone call, or I just overheard you talking to that guest. Wow. I like your tone of voice. I like how you ask questions. I like how you listen. Those are all moments of truth with the guest on the phone. Developing leaders and trainers that can also teach on the moments of truth for you. So have everybody engaged with that. And then you as a servant leader, be the consummate role model of those moments of truth out there. So those are just some suggestions. So there may be some of you today saying, Pete, those are awesome, but you know what? My application off of today's learning is I want to go back and rethink and take a look at our mission statement to make sure it's still clear, it's still relevant. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes. If you could just, at the very bottom of your page, it says learning applications. Pick one, pick a couple. But what are you going to do differently as a servant leader after today's session here with this information here? So take some time to write down what might be your application, and then I'll ask you a couple folks to share, and then we'll wrap it up. So. Mm-hmm.
And this is just kind of still the whole. Well, that's what I was just gonna ask you. This was the biggest thing was when we're providing functions and tasks to build in the why to touch back.
Yeah.
Something else we
The passion, get the passion, because we're so passionate.
Yeah. Okay, about another 30 seconds, and I'm going to ask for some examples of what your learning application is off of today's learning.
Because you're functional, but you're not Because it'd be more specific to each ministry if they did their moment of truth.
Okay. Want to keep things on time here, so, and you can feel free to stay there, whatever you want to do. It's whatever your choice, your option there. So if I can get, thank you. Again, great conversations I heard in terms of application. If I can have a couple of you to share, what's your application off of this? What's your, how are you going to apply this, what we just learned in your organization? Bill?
For me, I feel like the terminology moment of truth, I think, puts a nice bow on like how I can conceptualize this. And I feel like I look at a lot of those things when I'm assessing the business, but I don't know that I've always done a great job of building a recognition program around it and really recognizing all the small components that I may be assessing. So for me, that was my big takeaway, is if I'm recognizing the fact that our first impression is great, our exterior looks awesome, our signing's done well, you know, with power wash, like, then I need to recognize that with the team, or the same as they're walking out of the building. Just to acknowledge and recognize every behavior that we're trying to reinforce.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Okay, great application there. Robert?
I work with volunteers. One of my concerns is not coming up with a list of 140 things they need to do, because they'll be overwhelmed. But I want to sit down with them and have them come up with their own list, and then prioritize and say, which ones of these are the most important? What can you manage to do? And we'll just start there and keep working forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. I like it. Thank you, Robert. How about one more? Learning application off of our session here. Something you're going to do differently with your team. Yep. Go ahead, Alex.
I work in a restaurant.
So you're going to take my list. That's fine. I love it.
all of these 140 things, you know, apply to me. I think the most important thing is knowing, you know, your most important moments of truth.
Yeah.
And identifying what moments of truth you need to improve on.
Yeah.
And if you just focus on those kind of lead in to other moments of truth.
Yes.
If you stay, like I was talking to her about consistency. Like once you build that habit of doing these moments of truth effectively, they can lead into your next moment of truth, and then other people are seeing that you're doing those moments of truth, and it becomes just your culture. You're kind of like what you're leading up to.
Well said. This is an opportunity out there, making sure people are clear on the purpose, clear on the mission. What is your mission? I'm not sure what my mission is. I just come into work. What do you mean a mission here? Dial them into that, and you're going to see a tremendous difference here. I opened up with a role play. We're going to close with just a short role play, because when I worked for Olive Garden, and I worked on various training projects and operations projects, I go visit the restaurants, and I want to connect with all the employees out there as much as I can. So positions in the kitchen, positions out front, and I would at times. I had a special heart. I loved all the employee positions, but I had a special heart for the dishwasher and the busser. Because if the leader wasn't careful, sometimes it could be the perception of the busser and the dishwasher, oh, that's the low position out there. So I'd be talking with the busser and say, well, Pete, I don't know, I just clean up after people. No, wait a minute. You're wearing a Hospitaliano button. I am wearing a Hospitaliano button. You know what that stands for? Hospitaliano is our passion for delivering 100% guest delight at Olive Garden. So when you clean and clear this table, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you sanitize those tabletops, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you get the crumbs out of the booth and get that gum out from underneath the table there, you are helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you sanitize the chairs and booths, you are helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you are sweeping the floor around the guest areas there, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you keep your towel in good condition as you wipe the tables, okay, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you change out your sanding bucket appropriately, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you make sure those silverware rolls are nice and crisply folded as they go onto the table. You're setting the stage for Hospitaliano. When you make sure they're in just the right spot here, just to the left of the place setting, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you put out clean, clear wine glasses on the table, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you are putting those glasses in just the right spot, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When those condiments, salt and pepper shakers, are put in just the center of the table, you're helping us set the stage for Hospitaliano. When you've got promo materials that you're putting out that are just in the right spot for viewing it by the guests, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you help with a large party setup, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you are out there in the dining room with a smile, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you are doing some pre-bussing of other tables, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you are putting together, taking a refill order for a server and bringing some refill drinks out to a guest, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you acknowledge a guest, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you answer a guest question, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you give the guest a fond farewell, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. When you see a light bulb out and you notify a manager it needs to be changed, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. And lastly, when you help to make sure that our chairs and booths are in good condition, that there are no safety issues, you're helping us deliver Hospitaliano. Huh? Just cleaning up after people? I don't think so. Folks, I'm going to challenge you to be that detailed as you work with your team, because you're going to engage them in the purpose. They're going to see how important all of those pieces to their role is in helping to serve the guest out there. And you're going to have a team that is thriving together. So thank you very much.
The